What really happened behind closed doors during what fans are now calling Brad Arnold's most devastating days? For weeks, whispers spread like wildfire across social media, leaving millions of Three Doors Down fans terrified, confused, and desperate for answers. Headlines screamed fear. Comment sections turned into virtual prayer circles. And in the middle of all that noise, one voice stayed painfully silent until now. Today, we uncover the emotional truth, the heartbreak, and the strength that defined Brad Arnold's darkest days as his wife, Jennifer Sanderford, finally breaks her silence. Brad Arnold has always been more than just a rock singer. For over 2 decades, his voice became the soundtrack to heartbreak, healing, and hope for millions around the world. Songs like Kryptonite and Here, Without You weren't just hits, they were lifelines. But while fans saw strength on stage, few realized that behind the music, Brad was quietly fighting battles that would push him and his family to the edge. In recent months, alarming rumors began to circulate online. Some posts falsely claimed tragedy, while others hinted at severe health struggles that left fans fearing the worst. The uncertainty was devastating. Every new rumor felt heavier than the last, and with no official statement, imagination filled the gaps with fear. For Jennifer Sanderford, Brad's wife and closest support system, those days were described as emotionally unbearable. According to those close to the family, Brad's last days weren't about an ending, but about endurance. They were days filled with pain, exhaustion, and difficult decisions. Days when the future felt uncertain, and every morning began with silent prayers. Jennifer later revealed that watching the man she loved struggle was more painful than any headline could ever express. She wasn't just a wife. She became a caretaker, a protector, and an emotional shield against the cruel storm of online speculation. Jennifer's decision to finally speak wasn't about attention. It was about truth. She wanted fans to understand that while Brad was going through one of the hardest periods of his life, the rumors had crossed a dangerous line. The emotional toll of seeing false stories spread, stories that terrified family members and fans alike, was overwhelming. She described nights filled with tears, fear, and moments where strength felt impossible to find. What made these days even more devastating was Brad's own frustration. A man known for pouring raw emotion into music suddenly found himself without the energy to explain his pain to the world. Health struggles can be isolating, especially when you're expected to always be strong. Jennifer shared that Brad felt torn between wanting privacy and not wanting his fans to worry. That internal conflict weighed heavily on him. Behind the scenes, the couple leaned on faith, family, and resilience. Jennifer spoke about moments when hope felt distant, but love kept them standing. She described holding Brad's hand through long nights, reminding him that his story wasn't over, that his voice, both literally and figuratively, still mattered. These weren't the dramatic scenes people imagine, but quiet, heartbreaking moments that define real suffering. Fans often forget that celebrities are human too. Brad Arnold's pain wasn't scripted. It wasn't for sympathy or publicity. It was real, raw, and deeply personal. Jennifer emphasized that the word devastating didn't come from fear alone, but from exhaustion, mental, emotional, and physical. Fighting uncertainty day after day changes a person. It reshapes priorities. It strips life down to what truly matters. As Jennifer broke her silence, one message became clear. Brad is still here, still fighting, and still surrounded by love. The rumors of tragedy were false, but the pain was real. She urged fans to choose compassion over speculation and prayers over panic. Her words weren't angry. They were honest, emotional, and filled with quiet strength. This chapter of Brad Arnold's life may not be written in lyrics, but it carries the same depth as his most emotional songs. It's a reminder that strength doesn't always look like standing tall on stage. Sometimes strength is simply surviving the night. Sometimes it's letting someone else speak when you can't find the words. As fans, the best way to honor Brad Arnold isn't by sharing rumors, but by remembering the humanity behind the music. Jennifer's silence is broken now, not to shock the world, but to heal it. And while those days were truly devastating, they also revealed something powerful. Love can be louder than fear, and truth will always outlive rumors. If this story moved you, take a moment to send love, not speculation, into the world, because behind every headline is a family, a struggle, and a heart that feels far more than we ever see.